Hi, and welcome to a brand new video of the Target Individual Program, the Target Individual Experience. I hope my fire alarm goes off because since yesterday it's been beeping. Now I changed the battery, still continues to beep. All right, but again, this is all part of my targeting. This is what they do. They'll use some, either car alarms, building alarms, fire alarms within the building, you know, that sort of thing, right? I talked about this before, but now they're doing it within within the apartment, um, with the fire alarm. Okay, now anything that's electronic, they can manipulate. Okay, even fire alarms, yes, because of the circuitry. So they can manipulate it because, like I said, I put brand new batteries in there, so it shouldn't be beeping saying that battery low batteries. Okay, but this is what has been happening since yesterday. Okay, and I guess prior to today, this is why they were going on and all that. Because I've studied their program, so I already know. Okay, I already know what it is that they're trying to convey and all this stuff. But anyhow, so um, I started. I was on Facebook and actually was watching a video called "Black Feminist Lynching of Dr. Tommy J. Curry: Black Men and Black Male Studies." And but I already know this, right? And I've talked about this before, because if you go and you do, just Google, comparing a comparison of salary between black women and white women, you would rarely find any sort of comparison. I think I've really only found one in-depth study or look at that comparison. But what you will find is comparison of salaries between black women, white men, black women, black men, black women, Asian men, black women, Hispanic men. Okay, and Hispanic women, Asian women also in terms of black men. But you would rarely find, okay, uh, studies on the comparison between black women and white women, and there's a reason for that. Okay, because white supremacists have always and will always use white women to manipulate black women, and black women fell for it and fall for it. I'll give you an example. The woman's right, the woman a right to vote march in the early 20s. Okay, what is called the women's suffrage movement. But we all know in America when you talk about women's suffrage movement, it's not black women, it's white women. Okay, all right. So there's a famous speech by a black woman called Sojourner Truth, and her speech was entitled "Am I a Woman?" And what many black women don't understand is that the white woman refused to let her speak. So she was invited, right? But she was not allowed to speak. But she took it upon herself. She literally forced herself on the stage to give that speech. Because white women have always used black women as uh, a tool to get what they want and the support when they want something from white men. But when it's the other way around, white women are no show. Look at the defeat of Stacey Abrams, where you had a white woman were talking about the reelected governor of Georgia. I forgot his name. How misogynistic he is and stuff like that. But and this is what they were saying in public. But when they went to the voting booth, they voted for the same, just like with Trump. They voted for the same misogynistic white man, the same chauvinistic white man that they was all complaining about. They still voted for him instead of voting for a black woman. Okay, but again, and particularly in liberal states, you have black women are severely, severely manipulated by white women. And again, it's a history that has been shown white women have done throughout history, okay, at the behest of white men, okay? But black women don't want to understand it. And so they will conspire to destroy their own sons, their own fathers, their own brothers, their own men. All right. So I was posting some images of like I said, watching this video, and there were images they're showing of white women in the KKK, right? And when we tend to think about the KKK, we only think about white men in the KKK, right? We never seem to focus on white women, even in slavery. But white women owned slaves also, okay? Not just if they were married to the slave master, but they also owned slaves, and they also had their own personal slaves. They had male slaves in which they would, you know, rape their male slaves, and if the male slave didn't give it up, they will run to some white man saying that he assaulted them or he looked at them and they would lynch him. America don't talk about that part of history because we have to understand as people of color, not people of color, but me, particularly as a black person. Okay, I don't know about anybody, people of color as a black person. This is what they do, and we see that even today. White women still exhibit those type of behavior. They will confront black men, talk about, there's a video with a white woman. She's like, it was in a car dealership, saying that the black man sexually assaulted her, which he didn't. And it was all being videotaped. She's like, I feel the way you're looking at me, you're sexually assaulting me. And she's like, stop raping me, get away from me. This is because this is in their psyche. This is what they do. So on Facebook, I've posted image of KKK white men. Fine, I never get blocked, anything like that. But as soon as I start posting images of white women in the KKK, they block me. They literally block me. Okay, right? So, and then even when I go to appeal it, right? Couldn't appeal it. And you see this message here? We could not process your request. Try again later. Why? Because again, uh, it says, please explain why you think this is an error. And I said, okay, so I'm allowed to post images with the word, you know, nigger, niggas, but I can post historical images to educate people on the racist past and present condition in America. Okay. Now this is my. I can. It's supposed to be able to submit that, right? But when I go to submit it, this is what happens. Okay. So again, the reason why I do this being a stand, right? That America is still as racist as it was in the 50s and 60s and during slavery. Okay. But because those in power, those white racists in power, want to present this image of America as being past racism and all that stuff, we know that's not true. We know that's not true. But if they manipulate us and convince us to buy into that idea, even though it's opposite of the reality, okay, they can sit at their table smiling and feeling as if they're good people. All right. So again, just giving another example of what it is that they do. And as I said, that the good people, you hear the police sirens in the background. See, they're afraid of the truth. This is why, again, technology. I talk about. Go read that article for the New York Times, Dr. Jose Delgado. What type of human being uh, would we like to create? Right? What type of mind we want to create within uh, individuals within the society, without them even knowing that their minds are being created by an external force to give them uh, another consciousness that's beside their own consciousness. We're dealing with sadistical, wicked, evil individuals, and you know they, they don't want people like me or like you as a TI, to speak up, speak out, and they manipulate us in many ways. They manipulate others in many ways also. This is why, like I said, you gotta study, you gotta do research. You may not be able to research as a you know uh, scholar or anything like that, but trust me, a little bit of research will help you. It will help you. A little bit of truth will help you. Understanding who you're dealing with will help you. Okay? There's no, you wouldn't have any false notion that these people are good. You have any false notion that uh, you know these people are not willing to do anything and everything. Okay? To silence you as a TI and also me as a black person, but to prevent other black people, particularly black men, from uh, being who we're meant to be, leaders in our community, creators, builders, producers. Because ultimately, if that happened, you know, they don't want that sort of competition. Okay, and they understand that it is the men that build the community, but in the community where black people live, they've convinced our women that they're the one that's building the community. But our community is in shambles. And just as black women have been conditioned to uh, turn away from the truth when it comes to accountability and the responsibility of them being the so-called backbone of the black community, they don't want that, but they want the praise and they want all the accolades because they understand, not black women, the white supremacists who create these programs and what they're doing to us understand our personality, particularly the personality of a woman, and they manipulate us at any given moment, at any time, and we don't even understand and recognize that. But I do. Okay, and this is why I got to continue to speak out, and hopefully other people will see this also and recognize what's going on. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys in the next video.